Hi, it's Ben. Just want to do a very quick video, talk about a deal that's potentially come over the desk today and how I might actually structure it. Now this is a property down on the south coast. It's currently worth about probably about 350 grand in its current condition. It's not in a very good condition at all. It's in essence a 6 to 8 bedroom property. It's livable, but it needs a lot of work doing to it. However, it probably needs between 30 to 50,000 pounds spending on it to get it kind of done up properly, and then it's probably going to be in the worth in the value of about sort of 550 done up. Problem is the owner's mortgage runs out in 2.5 years. So how are we going to structure this? What we're going to do? I reckon there's two exit strategies for this particular property. I think there's either an exit strategy for a potential owner-occupier tenant buyer going into the property, or there's the opportunity for an investor tenant buyer taking on the property. So what I'll suggest is that the owner has a mortgage on it. The mortgage is about £220,000. At the moment there's only about £130,000 equity. Really the outgoing owner, what they want is 250 grand, £250,000 to go and buy a place outright so they're mortgage free for the rest of their life. Downsized dramatically, etc. They're in their sort of 60s, etc. And move on. But it's an interest-only mortgage at the moment. They're pretty much stuffed. Or sell at the moment, then they walk away with kind of 130 grand, and it's not going to give them what they need. So an option is something that suits them. But for us as the transaction engineer, I reckon there's two scenarios. So their mortgage at the moment is only costing £150 a month. I reckon scenario is that what they do is they move out of the property, they move into a rental property. There's a caveat on that. What we could do is, if we can find the right place and the owner of that right place is willing, they could move into a rent-to-buy type property themselves. They're probably looking for a 2-bed flat. But I think the easiest way is to go into a rental property for a couple of years, and then when all of the cash comes out for them, they can then go and buy and be a cash buyer. That personally is probably the easiest way of doing it. We've just got to clarify how we're going to move things forward there. But two different scenarios. Scenario one is put an owner-occupier in there. Owner-occupier comes in with some element of getting started money. We can decide what that is at the time based on what money they've actually got. But they're going to have probably 30 to 50 grand to do the property up. Done up, remember, it's going to be worth about 550. I suggest that we sell it to them for 550 minus the 220 on the 220 on the current mortgage, and you've got, what's that, 270, is my maths working there? 220, 520 would be 300, 330. See, my maths isn't working, so £330,000. But they're only expecting, if you remember, that they're only wanting 250 grand, so we can play around with that. You know, if they were to sell it for 220 plus 250, 470, they would walk away with 475, they'd be really happy. If we could sell it to somebody for market value based on what it'd be worth once it's done the work to at 550, we can play around with that. So that's one scenario. We can button down the maths on that, and we can put that out to a potential owner, occupier, tenant buyer. They've got to come in with cash, got to be ready to do the work. But remember, people are looking for opportunities. It would need to be somebody who has got cash and got the ability to get a mortgage in 2 years with that 2-year time frame to work to. The other alternative is, remember, let's go back. Mortgage on it currently is costing about £150 a month. Peanuts. Market rent for the property, if you're looking at a single occupancy property, we're probably talking around sort of 1,700 to 2 grand a month. If you're talking about, and we're going to come on to this as the next opportunity with an investor buying it, next opportunity is like an HMO, the property, market rent for HMO, because it's right near to a student area down there, is nearer to the 3,000. If it's done really, really nicely, £3,500. There's an 8-bedroom flat that's available down that neck of the woods for £3,500 a month, student property. So that's the opportunity. So if it was changed and turned to an HMO, or alternatively it could be turned, it's over 3 floors, it could be turned into 3 2/3 bedroom flats over the 3 floors. the estate agent's been round today to the property, and based on that, it could be worth about £200,000 to £250,000 per flat once it's done. So let's just base it on 220 grand. That's £660,000. That's not a bad exit strategy for an investor coming in. That being the case, we could put that on out to an investor on a 2-year option. They're going to have to come in, they're going to have to pay a chunk of money on a monthly basis for the 2 years, do the work to it, and then get it remortgaged based on the value once they've done the works to it. So that, I just wanted to share that with you because it kind of gives you an idea of how you look at these types of transactions and how you're trying to put it in place. Look at what it's costing at the moment, £150 a month, what the outgoing seller wants from the property, 250 grand, so they can go and buy a property that's mortgage free, what the options are, an owner-occupier tenant buyer in my head, a investor, a tenant buyer, so they can do some work, say tenant buyer, an investor option opportunity for somebody, so they've got 2 years option to do what they want, get it to a position where it's actually, they know it's cash flowing, they've got a proven record of it, and they can mortgage it based on that. So that was it. Just want to share that with you. Sorts of opportunities come across the desk on a regular basis, and it's understanding how you would use it. So I hope that's of interest, and I look forward to speaking to you. Any questions you got, put it below the video here, drop me an email, let me know, and I'll be able to answer them. For those people on my private Facebook group, and then hopefully this has been a benefit to you, and you can sort of play around with it and work out how you would use it, and it's giving you some ideas as well. Right, it's Ben, sign off. I'll speak to you soon. Take care.